ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता। अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासस्य महाबाहो तत्त्वमिच्छामि वेदितुम् त्यागस्य च हृषीकेश पृथक् केशिनिषूदन।
Arjuna said, O mighty armed Sri Krishna, O inner controller of all, O slayer of Keshi, I wish to know severally the truth of sannyasa as also of tyaga.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Kamyanam karmanam yasam sannyasam kavayo viduhu sarva karma phalatyagam prahustyagam vichakshana.
Shri Bhagavan said, some sages understand sannyasa as the giving up of all actions motivated by desire, and the wise declare that tyaga consists in relinquishing the fruit of all actions.
Tyajyam doshavadityeke karma prahulmanishinaha yajnadana tapha karma na tyajyamiti chapare.
Some wise men declare that all actions contain a measure of evil and are therefore worth giving up, while others say that acts of sacrifice, charity and penance are not to be given up.
Nishchayam shrunu me tatra tyage bharata sattama tyago hi purusha vyagra trividha samprakirtidaha.
Of sannyasa and tyaga, first hear my conclusion on the subject of renunciation, Arjuna. For renunciation, O tiger among men, has been declared to be of three kinds: sattvika, rajasika and tamasika.
Yajnadana tapha karma na tyajyam karyameva tat yajno danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishina.
Acts of sacrifice, charity and penance are not worth giving up. They must be performed. For sacrifice, charity and penance, all these are purifiers of wise men.
Etan yapitu karmani sangam tyaktva palani cha kartavyani ti me partha nishchitam madamuttamam.
Hence, these acts of sacrifice, charity and penance, and all other acts of duty too, must be performed without attachment and expectation of reward. This is my well-considered and supreme verdict, Arjuna.
Niyatasya tu sannyasaha karmano nopapadyate mohat tasya parityagaha tamasa parikirtidaha.
Prohibited acts and those that are motivated by desire should no doubt be given up, but it is not advisable to abandon a prescribed duty. Such abandonment through ignorance has been declared as tamasika.
Dukkamityeva yat karma kayat klesha bhayatyaje sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga palam labhe.
Should anyone give up his duties for fear of physical strain, thinking that all actions are verily painful, practicing such rajasika form of renunciation, he does not reap the fruit of renunciation.
Karyamityeva yat karma niyatam kriyate Arjuna sangam tyaktva palam chaiva satyaga satviko mataha.
A prescribed duty which is performed simply because it has to be performed, giving up attachment and fruit, that alone has been recognized as the sattvika form of renunciation.
Na dveshtya kushalam karma kushalena anushajjate tyagi sattva samavishtaha medhavi chinna samshayaha.
He who has neither aversion for action which is leading to bondage, nor attachment to that which is conducive to blessedness, imbued with the quality of goodness, he has all his doubts resolved, is intelligent and a man of true renunciation.
Nahi deha bhrita shakyam त्यक्तुं कर्माण्यशेषतः यस्तु कर्मफलत्यागी सत्यागीत्यभिधीयते.
Since all actions cannot be given up in their entirety by anyone possessing a body, he alone who renounces the fruit of actions is called a man of renunciation.
अनिष्टमिष्टं मिश्रं च त्रिविधं कर्मणः फलं भवत्यत्यागिनां प्रेत्य न तु सन्न्यासिनां क्वचित्.
Agreeable, disagreeable, and mixed, threefold, indeed, is the fruit that accrues after death from the actions of unrenouncing. But there is none whatsoever for those who have renounced.
पञ्चैतानि महाबाहो कारणानि निबोध मे सांख्ये कृतान्ते प्रोक्तानि सिद्धये सर्वकर्मणाम्.
In the branch of learning known as Sankhya, which prescribes the means for neutralizing all actions, the 5 factors have been mentioned as contributory to the accomplishment of all actions. Know them all from me, Arjuna.
अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता करणं च पृथक्विदं विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टा दैवं चैवात्र पञ्चमम्.
The following are the factors operating towards the accomplishment of actions, that is, the body and the doer, the organs of different kinds, and the different functions of manifold kinds, and the 5th is Daiva or destiny.
शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्यायं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः.
These 5 are the contributory causes of whatever actions, right or wrong, man performs with the mind, speech, and the body.
तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं तु यः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वान् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः.
Notwithstanding this, however, he who having an impure mind regards the absolute, taintless self alone as the doer, that man of perverse understanding does not view aright.
यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावाः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते.
He whose mind is free from the sense of doership and whose reason is not affected by worldly objects and activities does not really kill, even having killed all these people, nor does any sin accrue to him.
ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना करणं कर्म कर्तेति त्रिविधः कर्म संग्रहः.
The knower, knowledge, and the object of knowledge, these 3 motivate action. Even so, the doer, the organs, and activity, these are the 3 constituents of action.
ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च त्रिधैव गुणभेदतः प्रोच्यते गुणसङ्ख्याने यथावत् शृणुतान्यपि.
In the branch of knowledge dealing with the gunas or modes of prakriti, knowledge and action as well as the doer have been declared to be of 3 kinds according to the guna which predominates in each. Hear them too duly from me.
सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं भावमव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्.
That by which man perceives one imperishable divine existence as undivided and equally present in all individual beings, know that knowledge to be sattvika.
ऋतत्वेन तु यज्ञानं नानाभावान् पृथक्विदान् वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्.
The knowledge by which man cognizes many existences of various kinds as apart from one another in all beings, know that knowledge to be rajasika.
यत्तु कृत्स्नवदेकस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तमहैतुकम् अतत्त्वात्तवदल्पं च तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
Again, that knowledge which clings to one body as if it were the whole, and which is irrational, has no real grasp of truth, and is trivial, has been declared as tamasika.
नियतं सङ्गरहितम् अरागद्वेषतः कृतम् अपलप्रेप्सुना कर्म यतत् सात्विकमुच्यते.
That action which is ordained by the scriptures and is not accompanied by the sense of doership, and has been done without any partiality or prejudice by one who seeks no return, is called sattvika.
यत्तु कामेप्सुना कर्म साहङ्कारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं तद्राजसमुदाहृतम्.
That action, however, which involves much strain and is performed by one who seeks enjoyments or by a man full of egotism, has been spoken of as rajasika.
अनुबन्धं क्षयं हिंसाम् अनवेक्ष्य च पौरुषम् मोहादारभ्यते कर्म यत्तत्तामसमुच्यते.
That action which is undertaken through sheer ignorance, without regard to consequences or loss to oneself, injury to others, and one's own resourcefulness, is declared as tamasika.
मुक्तसङ्गो नहं वादी धृत्युत्साहसमन्वितः सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो निर्विकारः कर्ता सात्विक उच्यते.
Free from attachment, unegoistic, endowed with firmness and zeal, and unswayed by success and failure, such a doer is said to be sattvika.
रागी कर्मफलप्रेप्सुः लुब्धो हिंसात्मको शुचिः हर्षशोकान्वितः कर्ता राजसः परिकीर्तितः.
The doer who is full of attachment, seeks the fruit of actions, and is greedy, and who is oppressive by nature and of impure conduct, and is affected by joy and sorrow, has been called rajasika.
अयुक्तप्राकृतस्तप्तः षटो नैष्कृतिकोलसः विषादी दीर्घसूत्री च कर्ता तामस उच्यते.
Lacking piety and self-control, uncultured, arrogant, deceitful, inclined to rob others of their livelihood, slothful, despondent, and procrastinating, such a doer is called tamasika.
प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च कार्याकार्ये भयाभये बन्धं मोक्षं च या वेत्ति बुद्धि सा पार्थ सात्विकी.
The intellect, which correctly determines the paths of activity and renunciation, what ought to be done, what should not be done, what is fear and what is fearlessness, and what is bondage and what is liberation, that intellect is sattvika.
यया धर्ममधर्मं च कार्यं च कार्यमेव च अयथावत् प्रजानाति बुद्धि सा पार्थ राजसी.
The intellect by which man does not truly perceive what is dharma and what is adharma, what ought to be done and what should not be done, that intellect is rajasika.
अधर्मं धर्ममिति मन्यते तमसावृता सर्वार्थान् विपरीतांश्च बुद्धि सा पार्थ तामसी.
The intellect which imagines even adharma to be dharma and sees all other things upside down, wrapped in ignorance, that intellect is tamasika, Arjuna.
धृत्या यया धारयते मनप्राणेन्द्रियक्रियाः योगेनाव्यभिचारिण्या धृति सा पार्थ सात्विकी.
The unwavering firmness by which man controls through the yoga of meditation the functions of the mind, the vital airs and the senses, that firmness, Arjuna, is sattvika.
यया तु धर्मकामार्तान् धृत्या धारयतेऽर्जुन प्रसङ्गेन फलाकाङ्क्षी धृति सा पार्थ राजसी.
The firmness, however, by which the man seeking a reward for his actions clutches with extreme fondness virtues, earthly possessions, and worldly enjoyments, that firmness is said to be Rajasika, Arjuna.
यया स्वप्नं भयं शोकं विषादं मदमेव च न विमुञ्चति दुर्मेधा धृति सा पार्थ तामसी.
The firmness by which an evil-minded person does not give up sleep, fear, anxiety, sorrow, and vanity as well, that firmness is tamasika.
सुखं त्विदानीं त्रिविधं शृणु मे भरतर्षभ अप्यासाद्रमते यत्र दुःखान्तं च निगच्छति यत्तदग्रे विषमिव परिणामे मृतोपमं तत्सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तम् आत्मबुद्धिप्रसादजम्.
Now hear from me the threefold joy too. That in which the striver finds enjoyment through practice of adoration, meditation and service to God, and whereby he reaches the end of sorrow, such a joy, though appearing as poison in the beginning, tastes like nectar in the end. Hence that joy, born as it is of the placidity of mind, brought about by meditation on God, has been declared as sattvika.
विषयेन्द्रिय संयोगात् यत्तदग्रे मृतोपमं परिणामे विषमिव तत्सुखं राजसंस्मृतम्.
The delight which follows from the contact of the senses with their objects is eventually poison-like, though appearing at first as nectar, hence it has been spoken of as Rajasika.
यदग्रे चानुबन्धे च सुखं मोहनमात्मनः निद्रालस्य प्रमादोत्तं तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
That which stupefies the self during its enjoyment as well as in the end, derived from sleep, indolence and obstinate error, such delight has been called tamasika.
न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्त्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तं यथेभिः स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः.
There is no being on earth or even among the gods in heaven or anywhere else who is free from these three gunas born of Prakriti.
स्वे स्वे कर्मण्यभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः स्वकर्मनिरतः सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु.
Keenly devoted to his own natural duty, man attains the highest perfection in the shape of God realization. Here the mode of performance whereby the man engaged in his inborn duty reaches that highest consummation.
यथा प्रवृत्तिभूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तमप्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः.
By worshipping him from whom all beings come into being and by whom the whole universe is pervaded, through the performance of his own natural duties, man attains the highest perfection.
श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वभावनियतं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्.
Better is one's own duty, though devoid of merit, than the duty of another well performed. For performing the duty ordained by his own nature, man does not incur sin.
सहजं कर्म कौन्तेय सदोषमपि न त्यजेत् सर्वारम्भा हि दोषेण धूमेनाग्निरिवावृताः.
Therefore, Arjuna, one should not relinquish one's innate duty, even though it has a measure of evil. For all undertakings are beset by some evil, as is the fire covered by smoke.
असक्तबुद्धिः सर्वत्र चितात्मा विगतस्पृहः नैष्कर्म्यसिद्धिं परमां सन्न्यासेनाधिगच्छति.
He whose intellect is unattached everywhere, whose thirst for enjoyment has altogether disappeared, and who has subdued his mind, reaches through Sankhya Yoga the consummation of actionlessness.
बुद्ध्या विशुद्धया युक्ताः धृत्यात्मानं नियम्य च शब्दादीन् विषयान् त्यक्त्वा रागद्वेषौ व्युदस्य च विविक्तसेवी लग्वाशी यतवा कायमानसः ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः अहङ्कारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं परिग्रहं विमुच्य निर्ममः शान्ताः ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते.
Endowed with an untarnished intellect and partaking of a light, sattvika and regulated diet, living in a lonely and undefiled place, having rejected sound and other objects of sense, having controlled the mind, speech and body by restraining the mind and senses through firmness of a sattvika type, taking a resolute stand on dispassion after having completely got rid of attraction and aversion and remaining ever devoted to the yoga of meditation, having given up egotism, violence, arrogance, lust, anger and luxuries, devoid of the feeling of meum and tranquil of heart, such a man becomes qualified for oneness with Brahman, who is truth, consciousness and bliss.
ब्रह्मभूतप्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समसर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम्.
Established in identity with Brahman and cheerful in mind, the Sankhya Yogi no longer grieves or craves for anything. The same to all beings, such a yogi attains supreme devotion to me.
भक्त्या मामभिजानाति यावान् यश्चास्मि तत्त्वतः ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तदनन्तरम्.
Through that supreme devotion, he comes to know me in reality, what and who I am, and thereby knowing me truly, he forthwith merges into my being.
सर्वकर्माण्यपि सदा कुर्वाणो मद्व्यपाश्रयः मत्प्रसादादवाप्नोति शाश्वतं पदमव्ययम्.
The Karma Yogi, however, who depends on me, attains by my grace the eternal, imperishable state, even though performing all actions.
चेतसा सर्वकर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः बुद्धियोगमुपाश्रित्य मच्चित्तसततं भव.
Mentally dedicating all your actions to me and taking recourse to yoga in the form of even-mindedness, be solely devoted to me and constantly fix your mind on me.
मच्चित्त सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्प्रसादात् तरिष्यसि अथ चेत् त्वमहङ्कारात् न श्रोष्यसि विनङ्क्ष्यसि.
With your mind thus devoted to me, you shall overcome all difficulties by my grace. But if from self-conceit you do not care to listen to me, you will be lost.
यदहङ्कारमाश्रित्य न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वां नियोक्ष्यति.
If taking your stand on egotism, you think, I will not fight, vain is this resolve of yours. Nature will drive you to the act.
स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धस्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत्.
That action too, which you are not willing to undertake through ignorance, you will perforce perform, bound by your own duty, born of your nature.
ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया.
Arjuna, God abides in the heart of all creatures, causing them to revolve according to their karma by his elusive power, Maya, as though mounted on a machine.
तमेव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत, तत्प्रसादात् परां शान्तिं स्थानं प्राप्स्यसि शाश्वतम्.
Take refuge in him alone with all your being, Arjuna. By his mere grace you will attain supreme peace and the eternal abode.
इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातं गुह्याद् गुह्यतरं मया, विमृश्यैतद् अशेषेण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु.
Thus has this wisdom, more profound than all profundities, have been imparted to you by me. Deeply pondering over it, now do as you like.
सर्वगुह्यतमं भूयः शृणु मे परमं वचः, इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्.
Hear again my supremely profound words, the most esoteric of all truths. As you are extremely dear to me, therefore, I shall give you this salutary advice for your own good.
मन्मना भव मद्भक्ताः मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु, मामे वैष्यसि सत्यं ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे.
Give your mind to me, be devoted to me, worship me and bow to me. Doing so you will come to me alone, I truly promise you, for you are exceptionally dear to me.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज, अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
Resigning all your duties to me, the all-powerful and all-supporting Lord, take refuge in me alone. I shall absolve you of all sins, worry not.
इदं ते न तपस्काय न भक्ताय कदाचन, न च शुश्रूषवे वाच्यं न च मां योऽभ्यसूयते.
This secret gospel of the Gita should never be imparted to a man who lacks in austerity, nor to him who is wanting in devotion, nor even to him who is not willing to hear, and in no case to him who finds fault with me.
य इमं परमं गुह्यं मद्भक्तेष्वभिधास्यति, भक्तिं मयि परां कृत्वा मामे वैष्यत्य संशयः.
He who, offering the highest love to me, preaches the most profound gospel of the Gita among my devotees, shall come to me alone. There is no doubt about it.
न च तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चिन्मे प्रियकृत्तमः, भविता न च मे तस्माद् अन्यप्रियतरो भुवि.
Among men there is none who does me a more loving service than he, nor shall anyone be dearer to me on the entire globe than he.
अध्येष्यते च य इमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः, ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः.
Whosoever studies this sacred dialogue of ours in the form of the Gita, by him too shall I be worshipped with yajna of knowledge. Such is my conviction.
श्रद्धावान् अनसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः, सोऽपि मुक्तशुभान् लोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम्.
The man who listens to the holy Gita with reverence, being free from malice, he too, liberated from sin, shall reach the propitious worlds of the pious and righteous.
कच्चिदेतत् श्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा, कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रणष्टस्ते धनञ्जय.
Have you, O Arjuna, heard this gospel of the Gita attentively? And has your delusion born of ignorance been destroyed, O Dhananjaya, conqueror of riches?
Arjuna uvacha nashto moha smritirlabdha tvat maya chuta stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava.
Arjuna said, Krishna, by your grace my delusion has been destroyed and I have gained wisdom. I am free of all doubt. I shall do your bidding.
Sanjaya uvacha ityaham vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmanah samvadamimam ashrousham adbhutam promaharshanam.
Sanjaya said, Thus I heard the mysterious and thrilling conversation between Sri Krishna and the high-souled Arjuna, O son of Kunti.
Vyasa prasadat shrutavam etad guhyamaham param yogam yogeshwarat Krishna sakshat kathayata swayam.
Having been blessed with the divine vision by the grace of Sri Vyasa, I heard in person this supremely esoteric gospel from the Lord of Yoga, Sri Krishna himself, imparting it to Arjuna.
Rajan samsmritya samvadamimam adbhutam keshavarjunayo punyam hrushyami cha muhurmuhu.
Remembering over and over the sacred and mystic conversation between Bhagavan Sri Krishna and Arjuna, O King, I rejoice again and yet again.
Tacha samsmritya rupamadhyadbhutam harehe vismayo me mahan rajan hrushyami cha punah punah.
Remembering also again and again that most wonderful form of Sri Krishna, great is my wonder and I rejoice over and over again.
Yatra yogeshwara krishno yatra partho dhanurtaraha tatra shri vijayo bhutir dhruvanitil matil mama.
Wherever there is Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, and wherever there is Arjuna, the wielder of the Gandiva bow, goodness, victory, glory, and unfailing righteousness will surely be there. Such is my conviction.